Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome. He had wealth most modern billionaires could not match. By every metric the algorithm sells you, he had already gotten ahead of 99% of people. So why did he sit alone in a military tent at midnight and write privately to himself that none of it counted? In the next 10 minutes, I am going to show you what he saw. And by the end, you will know which scoreboard you have been playing on, and whether you want to keep playing it. Here is what nobody tells you about getting ahead of 99% of people. There are two scoreboards in the room. There is the one the algorithm shows you, the salary, the title, the follower count, the car in the driveway, the square footage of the house. And there is the one Marcus Aurelius was actually playing. The Stoics had a phrase for what is going wrong here. The trend is the trap. The thing the world keeps telling you is the way ahead is exactly the thing you are climbing without ever asking who set the ladder. Marcus had max pegged the first scoreboard before he was 40. Emperor of Rome, infinite resources, absolute power. By every external measure that exists in 2,000 years, no one has ever been further ahead. And every single night, in the back of a military tent on a frozen frontier, he wrote in his private journal that none of it was where peace lived. That is the entire problem. The trend you are watching right now, the videos that say work harder, sleep less, post more, get ahead, are selling you scoreboard one. The Stoics, 2,000 years ago, were the only school of philosophy whose entire ethic was built as a counter-doctrine to scoreboard one. And they had the receipts. Marcus had won it and called it worthless. Epictetus had been a slave under it. Seneca had advised the emperor under it. 3 different angles on the same broken game. Example 1. The salary scoreboard. You got the promotion, the bigger title, the bigger number on the offer letter. For about 3 weeks, it felt like proof. Then the goalpost moved. The peer with the bigger title became the new benchmark. The relief evaporated. You started over. This is the salary scoreboard. And here is the part that should stop you cold. Marcus Aurelius had max pegged this one. Emperor of Rome, infinite wealth. The most quoted passage in his entire journal, Meditations Book 4, Paragraph 3, is him telling himself, every night, that the retreats people seek in country houses, on the seashore, in the mountains, are less peaceful than the retreat into one's own mind. He had every country house. He had every mountain. He had every seashore. He still wrote, alone in a tent on a frontier nobody wanted to be on, that none of those places were where peace lived. The salary scoreboard does not have a finish line. There is always a bigger number. Marcus, with literally infinite resources, could not find peace on it, which means no number you can earn will end the chase. The chase is the scoreboard. If you are still here, you already know which scoreboard you have been playing on. Subscribe to Daily Stoic Mentality. Every week, one Stoic framework, one modern problem, one tool you can actually use. Now back to Marcus. Example 2. The algorithm scoreboard. You posted something honest. The first hour, the like count is too low. You check it again, and again. By the time it has been up for 6 hours, you have refreshed it 23 times. The number is now your mood. A stranger you will never meet just decided how your evening goes. The algorithm scoreboard. The modern Roman crowd. Marcus inherited a court of senators whose approval shifted by the hour. And Epictetus, who had been born a slave and watched grown men crawl for that approval his entire childhood, opened the Enchiridion with the line that ends the entire chase. Some things are up to us. Some things are not. Reputation is not up to us. The applause of strangers is not up to us. The response of the crowd is not up to us. Treating something that is not up to us as if it is makes you a slave to whoever holds the lever. The algorithm holds the lever. It cannot keep score on your character because your character is invisible to it. The follower count is not a measure of your worth. It is a measure of how well your last post pleased an audience whose taste you did not write. Confusing the two is the entire trap. Example 3. The comparison scoreboard. You open the group chat, or LinkedIn, or the photos from someone's wedding. The friend you used to study beside is now a director somewhere. The sibling has the house. The classmate has the wife and the kids in the holiday photo that looks like a magazine. You close the app, and for the rest of the night, you could not tell whether the life you were living was good or bad. Only that it was not theirs. The comparison scoreboard. Seneca, who had advised the Emperor Nero and seen every shade of envy at court, made 2 observations. The comparison scoreboard cannot survive. Letters to Lucilius, Letter 1. Time is the only thing you can never earn back. Every hour spent measuring your life against another's is paid in the only currency that does not refill. Letter 19. The higher anyone climbs the visible ladder, the further they have to fall. Withdraw into yourself as much as you can, not as escape, as accounting. The visible ladder is rented. The inner one is yours. The comparison scoreboard is rigged because you are seeing their highlight reel against your full footage. You will lose every time, against everyone, forever, on this one. The only winnable game is the one where the only player is you yesterday. Here is the framework. The Stoics did not have one name for it, but the bones are there across 3 different journals over 200 years. We are going to call it the Inner Scoreboard. 3 rules, each one anchored to one Stoic. Each one a move you can make tonight. Rule 1. Name the scoreboard you are playing on. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations Book 4, Paragraph 3. You cannot win a game you cannot see. Most of the 99% are keeping score on metrics they never chose. Salary, title, follower count, square footage, the body in the mirror. The first move is naming, in plain language, what your day is actually being measured against. Write it down on paper. Once it is named, it stops running you in the dark. Once it is named, you choose whether to keep playing. Rule 2. Audit which player you respect. Epictetus, Enchiridion, Paragraph 1. If you would not trade lives with the person currently winning the scoreboard you are chasing, you are playing on the wrong field. Epictetus put it sharper. If a thing is not up to you, chasing it makes you a slave to whoever controls it. So audit the winner. Audit the price they paid, the hours, the relationships, the quiet of their evenings. If you would not pay it, stop competing for what they bought. The fastest way to leave a rigged game is to look at the prize honestly and decide you do not want it. Rule 3. Refuse to keep score on metrics that will not matter on your deathbed. Seneca, Letters to Lucilius, Letter 1 and Letter 19. Time is the only thing you can never earn back. The visible ladder is rented. Run every metric through the deathbed filter. If it will not matter then, it does not get to run your life now. This is the rule almost no one is willing to follow. Because the deathbed filter erases most of what the algorithm sells you, and the quiet that is left is the one most people are afraid of. The Stoics were not. That is why their work outlived 3 empires. Rule 3 is the one most people refuse to follow. If this is landing, hit subscribe. The next 2 episodes finish building this one out. Marcus Aurelius died in a military camp on the Danube frontier with absolutely no audience. Not the Senate, not the army, not the algorithm. The man who had won every scoreboard the world could keep was, at the end, alone with the only one that counted. His, and in 2,000 years, no one. Not one historian, not one philosopher, not one stranger like me reading him at night, has been able to find a single line in his journal where he failed to keep his own score honestly. That is what it means to be ahead of 99%. Not a bigger number. A scoreboard you wrote yourself, played honestly, and could read on your deathbed without flinching. Pick yours tonight. If you only take one thing from this, pick the scoreboard. Then play it, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which rule landed hardest. Naming it, auditing the winner, or the deathbed filter. I read every comment. Daily Stoic mentality.